Well, back to my weekly Arrow review. This is for episode 13, Betrayal. And the bad guy in this episode is Cyrus Vance, who is a criminal that got out of prison, and Laurel is leading the advocacy group trying to get him put back in prison. And he is trying to take over the entire city. After a quick scene of the bad guy being bad, we get a scene at Flashback Island. Oliver has followed a map given to him by the Chinese guy, who I swear I'll use the real name of next week. And when he follows the map to a plane where he is attacked by a mysterious man, who we'll get into in a minute. So, back in the real world, Oliver confronts his mom about the book and says, "Why do you have a copy of this list of all these bad people?" And she's just like, "Oh, that's just people that your dad owed favors to. Don't worry about that." And throws it in the fire. And Laurel's dad is still after Arrow and talks to a couple of his buddies about how he's going to use the phone to catch Arrow, but we already knew that. So Dig talks to Oliver and is like, "So your mom threw the book away? Yeah, and you don't find this suspicious at all?" They spent so many episodes making Dig an idiot, now they're making Oliver an idiot. And he's like, "Nope, mom's a nice person. She didn't do anything wrong." Idiot. So, of course, Laurel calls him up to ask for help in catching Cyrus Vance in his evilness. So, Arrow shows up to Vance's mansion. How a guy straight out of prison has a mansion, henchmen, and a love interest, I'm not sure, but he does. So Arrow shows up, kills a bunch of henchmen, and shoots at Arrow into the wall to record Vance's plans, and it just pisses him off, and he doesn't show up, doesn't confront him, doesn't warn him. Vance knows he's there, doesn't care, and it serves no purpose other than to piss Vance off, and later on in the episode make him kidnap Laurel. So, yeah. So Dig decides to start trailing the mom because he finds it suspicious that she would burn the book, even though Oliver doesn't. Tracks her down to a birthday party. And, yeah, that's it. Nothing. So, Oliver calls up Laurel again and they meet. Laurel lies to Tommy about where she's going, lies to her dad about where she's going, and the dad uses the meetup to try to catch Arrow, where Arrow uses Laurel as a human shield and throws her at the cops like he would a standard criminal, and then knocks the dad out when the dad chases after him. And what's the result of this? Laurel's pissed off at the dad for using her as bait and still loves the Arrow. Loves him. Begs for his forgiveness for being upset. Like, Tommy, he's a dick for being mad. Dad, he's a dick for using her. Arrow, he goes around murdering people. Used her as a human shield. Almost threw her off a building. Who cares? I'm really starting to dislike Oliver, Green Arrow, whatever you want to call him. He's supposed to be our hero, but he just goes around murdering people and being mean and doesn't care about anybody. He's supposed to have changed. He says so many times, "Oh, that reminds me of how I used to be. I used to be such a dick." Well, sorry to break this to you, buddy, but you still are a dick. So Vance figures out from his love interest that Laurel is Arrow's weakness and kidnaps her. Lets the dad know, and the dad calls up Arrow for help to save her. And they have this scene where the bad guy walks through all of his forces as Arrow's taking him out. I have highly trained men on the perimeter, and he kills them. And if he gets by them, he'll never get by the snipers. And if he gets by them, I got men with machine guns, shooting 600 rounds a second. He'll never get by them, and he gets by them. But even if he does get by all of them, he only has 25 arrows, and I have 26 henchmen. And he walks in, and the other henchman walks in behind him, is about to kill Arrow, and the dad shoots the last henchman. So they end up catching Cyrus Vance, let the dad arrest him. Dad's gonna kill him, and Arrow don't let him, because he's the only murderer allowed on the show. I mean, he's the only vigilante allowed on the show. I'm sorry. So, after the bad guy's taken care of, we go to Flashback Island, and we figure out the guy in the plane was Slade Wilson. And he wants Oliver to help him defeat the bad guys. Oliver doesn't want to because he doesn't know how to fight. And he says, well, if you don't help me kill the bad guys, I'll just kill you so that you're not a liability. Like, oh, never mind. I'll learn how to fight then. So he's going to pick out a weapon to train on and finds the Deathstroke mask. He's like, you're the psycho that tortured me. He's like, no, we all wear these masks. So either he's lying, or there's two Deathstrokes, or maybe the other guy's wintergreen. We don't really know. So meanwhile, Dig had been doing his investigation, following around the mom some more, and he listened into a conversation and heard the mom tell Malcolm Merlin, Tommy's dad, that she knows the boat was sabotaged, and Malcolm wants her to get rid of the boat that she's been storing in a warehouse. We already knew all that for a while now, but Oliver's finally figuring out. And the episode ends with him holding an arrow on her, dressed up as a hood, giving the "You have failed this city" speech. And that's how we end. Thank you for watching, and I'll try to do better next time.